Mets with an update here. More good news for the Amazons. Jacob deGrom underwent MRI and a CT scan, which revealed considerable healing of the stress reaction on his scapula. He's been cleared to begin loading and strengthening of the shoulder. He will be re-imaged in approximately 3 weeks. So Alex, let me go to you first. What does loading and strengthening mean for a pitcher when we're talking about a guy who's coming off a shoulder injury and starting to get back?
Well, typically when you have those injuries, you have to build back that strength because that's what happens when you have injuries. You lose the strength in that area. But it'll be a little bit of a road for Jacob, but I'm pretty sure the Mets and him will put together a good plan. With him, as well as I'm sure he knows his body. He'll know when he's right and ready to go. But I mean, give credit to the Mets pitchers, picking up the slack too with the way they've been playing all year. But Jacob's got to be big for them, and they need him to pitch.
And they need to be smart. They got to be careful with what they do with him, right? Because they're starters. They're leading the National League in ERA in a 2.29 right now. So they're pitching. They're doing what they need to do. So I think with a guy like Scherzer and a guy like Bassett and a guy like Carrasco, they're picking up the slack big time. So you don't want to rush this guy, but you definitely want to have him ready to go in September or in October.
Yeah, I mean, what a luxury, because when the season started and deGrom basically was put on the shelf here, Mets fans were panicked. And they were saying, hey, if we just kind of toe the line here until he gets back. But you mentioned at the starting pitching ranks for the Mets, they have been outstanding here. And deGrom's going to be 34 in June, Alex. So they don't need to rush him back. But also the idea that you're going to wait till late in the season. Now, this guy, he's a pitcher. It's what he does, and he needs to find his comfort zone. Plus, buddy up with Max Scherzer, who's phenomenal in the postseason, because that's where the Mets want to go, to kind of figure out the next step to his career, which is being an ace, a true ace in the postseason.
Yeah, well, I mean, the big thing for him is not to rush it, but at the same time, when he's ready, he needs to be ready to go. And I don't think the Mets are going to hold him back just for that reason alone. But at the same time, you're right. Going into the postseason, which that's the aspirations for this Mets team, they're going to have to match up with the Dodgers. They're going to have to match up with Milwaukee, with teams that also have those same aspirations. With the pitching staffs that they have, they need to be able to match up with that and go toe-to-toe with those guys.
I saw a couple of Mets fans at the gym, and we were talking about how they're off to a great start. And all of them were like, don't say it. Don't talk. No. We don't want to jinx anything.
You're jinxing.
But seriously, I mean, and look, it's early, but hey, I mean, it's still a 4.5-game lead.
Yeah.
They're playing great. Buck Showalter
That's
is
the key right there
for the job.
Yeah, I think Buck Showalter has done a phenomenal job, but there's just something about the Mets with Buck Showalter. He just knows how to get all these guys that are not the it players, right? The Lindors or the Cano, the glue guys, what I call the glue guys. And those guys, the McCann, I mean, these guys, they do a phenomenal job just setting up the pieces. We saw it last night, right? Dominic? Yeah. He went out head first. Yep. Tom Smith went head first into first base. Those are the winning pieces that they need to keep that big, long stretch of wins.
Well, he takes pressure off those guys. That's the thing. With a guy like Buck kind of heading the whole thing, all those guys are allowed to relax and do what they do on a nightly basis. And like you said, it's winning baseball. They're trying to find ways to win the game and not allow outside distractions to kind of seep into that clubhouse. And it's been a lot of fun to watch. Yeah. And I mean, Mets fans do have a reason to be excited.
And I'll tell you this from like what I've heard with Buck. He's the type of guy that when you go into that clubhouse and you lose, but you go 4 for 4, you're just as mad as if the other guy next to you was going 0 for 4.
I like it.
There's no, well, we'll get him tomorrow. No. We needed to win today. And it's all about what we do today and in the present moment. That's the reason why he's always winning.